Hello everybody, my name is Patrick Fries and today I'm going to be showing you my communications model. But first, we have to know the definition of communication, which is the process of generating meaning by sending and receiving nonverbal and verbal symbols and signs that are influenced by multiple contexts. Now, there are three main types of communication: transmission, interactive, and transactional models. My model is basically how one person would interact with another person. In my model, there's only going to be one speaker, and he or she is over here. This person starts the communication process by showing that they want to start a conversation with another person. The next process of the communication is the message, which is basically the message right here is what the sender is trying to send to the receiver. So the message is what the sender came up with and he or she wants to say to the receiver. So the next step in the model is the channel right here, which is how the sender is going to get the message to the receiver. So an example of a channel is a computer. If you're trying to talk over a computer, the channel is the computer. If you're trying to send a text message, the channel would be the phone. If you were talking face to face, the channel would be your own mouth. Okay? Now, this whole process right here is known as the encoding process, because the encoding process is basically what the sender is trying to say to the receiver. It's how the sender is saying it to the receiver, if that makes sense. So it's basically how the sender is depicting the message that he or she wants to send to the receiver. After the channel is figured out, the sender sends the message all the way to the receiver right here, and the receiver is going to decode the message that the sender just sent. Now, the decoding process is basically how the receiver understands the message, how he or she depicts the message that the sender has received, and how after he or she understands what the sender is trying to say, the receiver will send back its own message to the sender, and will send back its own message right here, and this is known as feedback, because this is basically the receiver responding to the message that the sender sent, which is the feedback. Now, there are many things that can affect the feedback. Two of them are noise and the psychological context. Then my noise is up here in these four corners, because noise is everywhere. No matter where you are, there's always going to be noise. If you're talking face to face, like in my model, the noise could be other people having conversations, or if you're outside in public, it could be the traffic noise, or even if you're in rural areas, it could be birds or cows, something. And then the psychological context is basically the emotions that either the sender or the receiver is feeling. If the sender is having a bad day, then the message that he or she sends is going to be like a bad message, like you won't want to get it. But if the receiver is having a bad day, the sender could be sending a totally nice message, and the receiver could basically depict that message to be totally opposite of what the sender is trying to say. So that is basically, this is my model. That is it. I gotta go watch the Super Bowl. Bye.